Hello there. This is going to be the lighter side alternate ending to the Mandalorian Anakin Skywalker fanfiction, so you may need context, so I recommend rewatching the dark side ending so you know how this diverges from that. So with that out of the way, here's the light side ending. Obi-Wan throws his lightsaber to the ground and tells Anakin that if he truly believed that, then to kill him. Anakin stands to his feet and raises his saber. He hesitates for a moment and struggles with his decision. Anakin calms his mind for a moment and listens to the Force. He reflects on his upbringing, Kron Rao's hatred of the Jedi, Qui-Gon's kindness, Obi-Wan allowing Anakin to choose his own path, his bond with Ahsoka, his mother's wise words throughout the years, and the pain of betraying Jango. Anakin drops his saber and falls to his knees. Obi-Wan turns around and approaches Anakin. He puts his hand on Anakin's shoulder and says they need to stop this. Anakin looks to Obi-Wan and snaps out of it. He activates his comlink and tells Bo-Katan that he's been deceived and the Jedi are innocent. Cease fire on the Jedi and open fire on the clone troopers, and to evacuate any Jedi they find. Bo receives the message and the Mandalorians back off the Jedi and turn on the clones. The clones are caught completely off guard and gunned down. Across the city, Palpatine senses this and orders all the clones still protecting the Senate building to follow him to the Jedi Temple. In the temple, Anakin and Obi-Wan rejoin Windu and Ahsoka and Yoda and fend off the clones. Bo-Katan flies through the temple and manages to save a group of younglings from the clone troopers. All of a sudden, Anakin and the Jedi all freeze in place. They all look at each other and sense the same thing, a cold feeling. They turn and see Sidious stood in the doorway, backed by clone troopers. Palpatine reveals his face and tells Anakin he's betrayed him, and gives him one final chance to be at his side, otherwise it'll be difficult to ensure the safety of his wife and the other senators. Anakin turns to the Jedi Masters and nods to them. Obi-Wan tells Ahsoka to help Bo-Katan, and the rest of them charge into Sidious, while the Mandalorians give them cover fire. Sidious is immediately outmatched. Sidious becomes desperate and attempts to pick apart the team. He cuts Obi-Wan's arm off and pushes him back. Anakin pushes Sidious with conviction and ferocity. Across the hallway, Ahsoka and Bo-Katan are being pushed back by the clones, and Windu breaks off the attack on Sidious to help them. Anakin is knocked back by Sidious, and Yoda prevents Sidious from killing him. Sidious knocks Yoda's lightsaber out of Yoda's hand, and Sidious sprays him with Force lightning. Sidious continues until he sees Anakin standing to his feet, and he launches Yoda into the wall, knocking him unconscious. Sidious turns to Anakin, offering him one final chance. Join him, or die. Anakin ignites the Darksaber and his own lightsaber as his response, and dashes into Sidious. Sidious activates both his lightsabers and dashes into Anakin. Sidious outmatches Anakin and begins to push Anakin back. Sidious and Anakin enter a saber lock and Anakin feels the pressure. Anakin begins to panic but then feels a comforting presence behind him, a hand on his shoulder that isn't there. He hears a familiar voice in his head, belonging to Qui-Gon, telling him it's time to fulfill his destiny. Sidious kicks Anakin back and darts up to Anakin, but Anakin freezes Palpatine in the air with the Force. Palpatine drops his sabers and shoots lightning into Anakin, but the lightning is absorbed into Anakin's outstretched palm. Sidious grows tired and stops firing. Anakin concentrates the energy into a small ball of light in his hand. He walks up to Palpatine and places his hand on Palpatine's chest. The energy begins to fill Palpatine as his body begins to burn and crack with the same energy, escaping from his body, before Palpatine explodes in a flash of blue light. The entire room looks around stunned. Anakin then raises the Darksaber in the air and leads his forces to victory against the clones. After the assault, the Jedi Council addressed the Senate, showing them the evidence that came to light, and the Senate accepts this. Anakin is knighted as a Jedi by the Council for his efforts. Windu and Yoda talk with Anakin in private, and the three agree that it's better for the Jedi and the Mandalorian people to be close allies moving forward, rather than allow their history to define them. Yoda and Windu then offer Anakin a seat on the Jedi Council as their representative of Mandalore, and Anakin accepts. Windu says Anakin will be granted the rank of Master in a few years, once he's completed one final challenge, and Anakin asks what this is. The three walk into a room full of Jedi Padawans. Windu turns to Anakin and tells him he must pass on what he has learned. Anakin looks to the group of Padawans with humility, ready to take on his next challenge. And that is where this story ends. Thank you guys very much for watching this light side ending of the fanfiction. Let me know which ending you preferred. I'll see you guys on my next live stream, but until then guys, may the Force be with you, may the power protect you, bye.